Good morning, my good friends. Today I got this from Jody. This is Roger, Mudfossil University. Jody, who I do a lot of research with daily. We are in communication, and she sent me this because recently we've been doing a lot on biology and deep biology now, and then getting into the enzymes and all the different catalytic reactions that happen internal in the cells, getting into DNA, the programming, codons, all of that stuff, very deep. Now, so in that vein, I started to think in relation to life. So I'm going to give you about life today, and then we're going to get in deep into the chemistry. I mean deep into how DNA actually communicates with its own little programs. I mean, they're programs. I kind of understand this, so we're going to go through that in what I am going to consider to be extremely great depth. But originally, we're going to go through just talking about life and how the processes of life relate, because you can't get to this until you get to where we started. All right, so here's where we started. Good morning, my very good friends. Roger once again, Mudfossil University. Today got something this morning from Jody. Always something from Jody. Excellent stuff every day. And I get a ton of stuff from a lot of people. And I like all of it. And I look at the things that I can look at. And Jody knows the things I like. So we've been talking about a lot about health. And a lot about the requirements that you have to have health. Everybody thinks, oh, it's going to be healthy. I'll just go to a doctor and he'll throw me a couple of pills and make me healthy. Absolutely no. No, no, no. That does not work that way, my friend. You are a bag full of chemistry. And that chemistry is so elegant, you could never in your wildest dreams understand how exquisitely elegant the system works. But in that vein, I'm trying to explain, and I'm having a hell of a time trying to. Yeah, I have a hard time understanding it myself, so don't think I'm just real smart and I can understand everything. Trust me, I can't. I have to do a lot of work, and I did. And here's what I'm coming up with. This is the best I can do to convey it to you. All right? Because what we're doing is trying to figure out, why are people being so sick? Why is this? I mean, it's an epidemic of sickness, and everybody's tired. They're irritable. They're unhappy. They have all kinds of digestive issues, and really, that's exactly where it starts. Let's just talk about life. Life is biology. We all know that. It's biology. You're a biological thing. Biology is chemistry. If you can say it's not chemistry, then we're done talking. Life is a bag full of chemicals, no matter what kind of life it is. And they interact. So what happens then? Chemistry is charge bonding. Well, what does that mean? That means that you got little particles inside of you, doing this all day long. And I'm going to show you what they do. They attach, they detach, they move over there, they build things, they transfer things, they respirate, they transfer acids to gases. They do so much, you just have no idea. So let's go on from there. We know that chemistry is bonding. Bonding creates molecules, obviously. They take the little bitty ones, they make big ones. They take the big ones, they make little ones. It's separation of particles, adding them, subtracting them, doing all that stuff. It's bonding, creating different molecules out of different things. That requires interaction. That requires enzymes. It requires acids and acid, salts, and all kinds of stuff. So let's keep going. Now, molecules literally create program chains. Now, and I'm going to show you that those are called amino acids. They're amino acids, DNA, all these things. They say, oh, it's just a program. Yes, it is. How does that work? Who designed that? Who built it? And how does it work? And how does it transfer things? And how does it eventually end up creating or doing whatever it's supposed to do according to its program? Let's look into that. Chains of these codes are coded messages, and they are charged. They have charges. The only way they can code is with these charges, and that's the only way a program in a computer works, is the charges, plus and minus charges. There's only two charges in every single instruction of every single computer. There's only yes or no. That's it, yes or no. And the same thing here, there's a positive or a negative. That is the universe. That's programming, that's biology, that's particles. It is the entire universe. There is two particles only in the universe, a positron and a negatron, or an electron, let's call them. That's electron flood theory. There's no, forget all the other stuff they give you. There's two particles, and this does the same thing. There's pluses and minuses, case closed. So, we got molecules, they create program chains. The chains are coded messages, and the only way they can code them is a plus or minus. I'm going to show you the actual codes and show you how CTAGs move around in the body. They can only attach certain ways, and that creates what's called a truth table. We're going to go through that. Now, these charged chains create products. Right? They come through, they all do different little brrrr, and it comes out something else. It's an acid, or it's a gas, or it's a calcium, or it's a phosphate, or it's creating bones, it's creating blood, it's creating tendons. That's what you do in your body. That just doesn't happen by accident. I know. So they create products. Those are the products. Those are the products that make your body. Fingernails and hair and teeth and all that stuff. All different stuff. Thousands and thousands and thousands of combinations of these codes, and these charged particles create these products. The products are attracted to bind sites. What is a bind site? Well, it's your fingernails, it's your toenails, it's your hair roots, it's your teeth where they get anchored, it's your optical nerves. It's all of these bind sites start to grow from there and attach molecules that have the propensity to attach to that particular site. They have that particular molecular binding properties, positives and negatives in certain ways, and you can actually see them. You see that? You could see these binding sites. I build molecules. I don't really build them. I just sort of play around, to be honest with you. But what I do is I look, and I take different chains of molecules, and I say, well, what would it take to attach to that? What would I have to add to come in here to make another molecule? If I came in and I added that, well, then I have a whole other molecule. And what would that do? That would bind to an oxygen instead of a nitrogen, that type of thing. That's what's going on in your body. It's just the way it works now. So we're into the part where we got products. They get attracted to bind sites, and they're attracted because of the positive and negative charges. That's all it is. The bind sites grow, or they react, and the nerves sense. There's reactive receptors in every one of your joints. It knows how many times you move and how hard you pull, and it builds that mechanism for your specific needs. That's absolutely amazing. You take people that are climbers. They climb up these mountains. They could rip the roof off of a house with their fingertips. Absolutely unbelievable. Another guy, fingertips rip right off. That is what happens. It builds it according to you. Now I'm getting into the point where I have no idea how this all happens. I mean, honestly, who knows? Nobody knows. All I'm going to tell you is there is an unknown controller in your body that regulates you. Right? That's all I can say. Something's regulating you. This is just not happening by accident. This is stuff running out of my mouth every day. Is something programmed me to do this? I'm not doing this because I want to, but something told me to do it. It's not me. It's not you doing what you do. It's because you're in a situation you are in, and you find it compulsory to do what you're doing because you got to do it because that's your life. This just happens to be my life. I don't know how I got to this point, but it just happened. And I was set up for this. I know I was, because of my interests throughout my life led me to this. And now I see that everything I was told was nonsense. Literally nonsense. I have to be honest with you. I get to this point, and I'm sorry that I have this kind of attitude when I get to this point, but I do. Because now that I realize it and I confront the people with that they're spewing out this nonsense, nonsense works for them. It does not work for me. So life is 100% chemistry. Death, I can't tell you what happens after that. That's the kind of thing I don't know. Who's controlling things now and what happens after you die? No clue at this point. But I am looking. And I can see things, they knew about this stuff in the past. There was a lot more interest and a lot more understanding of this life and that death long ago.